Welcome into Chat Sports. I am Tom Downey. Mel Kiper has put out his latest 2023 NFL mock draft, and we are about to break it all down. But first, if you guys love the NFL draft like we do here at Chat Sports, then show it by liking today's video right now as we break down the latest Mel Kiper mock draft. Number 1 overall, Carolina. Remember, they made the trade with the Chicago Bears. They have the first overall pick, C.J. Stroud. It will be a quarterback at number 1. It's a question of which quarterback it ends up being in the end. Bryce Young goes number 2 overall. By the way, this is the first mock draft for Mel since the blockbuster Bears-Panthers trade. Bryce Young here goes number 2. Undersized, but look, we've had sub-6 foot quarterbacks going around. What? Here's another one. Trade alert. Mel did a trade again. Specified the trade here. It's the Mitchell Trubisky trade all over again, which probably would be a little bit more of an overpay. But hey, the Panthers gave him a lot more than I thought they were going to for the number 1 overall pick. Number 4, a third and a 4, 79, 106 overall. So it's actually just a bit less than the Trubisky trade. Go to Arizona so Indy can take Will Levis. Mel Kiper is a bigger fan of Will Levis. We'll do his big board in the coming days too, by the way, than most people are. But if you like the RPO stuff, which I think the Eagles might, Levis could be a fit there. But I personally would rather gamble on Anthony Richardson. So Arizona trades down a spot, gets the guy that would have taken at number 3, Will Anderson. In light of Jalen Carter's off-the-field concerns, Anderson is an obvious candidate to be the first non-quarterback taken, and is the heavy favorite, by the way, to be the first non-quarterback taken in this year's draft. Seattle takes Anthony Richardson at number 5. That Geno Smith deal is only a 1-year commitment. You could absolutely, it's a multi-year deal, but they can bail after a year. That deal means you could go in the Lamar Jackson, Mahomes mold of take the high upside quarterback, sit him for a year with your veteran, and then move on. The upside of Richardson is fascinating. There's a gamble there that you're committing to him as your future quarterback there. I don't know if you can rule it out. Surprise? Yes. Impossible? No. So will the Seahawks draft a quarterback at number 5? Why for yes? In round 1, I should say, because you always go crazy. You pick up at 20. It doesn't happen very much, though. But will they draft a quarterback? Why for yes, N for no. It's the pinned comment on today's video. If an ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of the ad. Head down there and sound off. Number 6, Jalen Carter. Is Jalen Carter a Dan Campbell guy in light of the new off-the-field stuff? I'm not so sure. I think that should raise some hypothetical red flags, and out of shape, apparently, at his pro day. Didn't have a good showing there. He's certainly not going to go number 1. Expectation is probably still top 10. Detroit the right fit. They might maximize him, but I'm not sure on that one. So who will draft Jalen Carter? A big unknown with about a month to go before the NFL draft. Get those predictions in the comment section. The top 4 quarterbacks are gone. Raiders would go defense. They take Christian Gonzalez. He moves so fluidly. The Oregon former Colorado cornerback. No major complaints there. One of my guys, Devin Witherspoon out of Illinois. A Witherspoon-A.J. Terrell combo would be really intriguing. He's not going to test until April 5th because of a hamstring injury, minor one. I am curious, though, how he ends up testing on that standpoint. Number 9, Paris Johnson Jr. out of Ohio State goes to the Chicago Bears. In theory, you're playing him at tackle. He kind of mentioned some guard stuff, but I'm probably going to try to move around some of my other offensive linemen, get him plugged in long-term as my future tackle. But, that certainly makes sense for the Chicago Bears. It's actually back-to-back offensive linemen, by the way. Peter Skoronski here, number 10 overall. I think they're going defense. They've lost so many pieces because you have Cam Jurgens, but you're getting some depth, so sure. I think defense will be the pick, or trade down for Philadelphia in the top half of their first round. The NFL t-shirt combo, long sleeve, short sleeve, is still available and on sale. This is the best deal Fanatics offers, so go get yours today. chatsports.com/NFL combo. Links in the comments section and the description of today's show. Whatever team you're a fan of, you can get some of the awesome gear. I don't think there is ever a better sale than this one on Fanatics. When it pops up, we try to tell you guys about it. Go sell them out. Chatsports.com/NFL combo. It's not an offensive lineman for Tennessee. It's a different pick. Titans fans excited about that because it's changing. Tyree Wilson, this is your kind of Bud Dupree replacement there. I don't know if he's a edge or a 5 technique in that defense. There is the length size combo upside is fascinating. At 11, I like the value here. Back-to-back edges. On my last mock, I'm pretty sure I had this pick too, was Nolan Smith, who tested really well at the combine. D'Amico Ryans typically likes bigger guys. I think you could fall in love with Tyree Wilson, by the way. But you're giving Ryans a defensive piece at number 12. Not many complaints there. Broderick Jones. Will this be a Packers pick? Who knows? Offensive tackle. That's been a popular mock draft selection in light of the O-line concerns the Jets have. Joey Porter Jr. to the Patriots here. They did bring back Jonathan Jones. I don't think they need a cornerback that badly, but value-wise, I ain't going to be mad. He's a pure first-round grade for me in this year's class. Lucas Van Ness, another defensive piece. Maybe you go tight end to help out Jordan Love, but whatever, that's fine there. Gary's coming back from a torn ACL. Van Ness offers the inside-outside flex I could certainly see the Packers liking. Emmanuel Forbes at number 16 out of Washington State. Look, corner's still an area of concern. The issue with Forbes, he's 166 pounds. Like, yeah, he can get bigger, but, I mean, anything more than 10 pounds seems asking way too much. Even that's kind of a push there. You're still 176. So he is a ball hawk. He's got great speed, but there are valid concerns about the size. If you guys have not already subbed to us here at Chat Sports, get that changed. Free NFL videos all off-season long right here at Chat Sports. Deonte Banks, number 17 overall out of Maryland. They bring in Patrick Peterson. Maybe corner's not their biggest need, but I like the film. I like the athleticism for Deonte Banks. I think it's decent value there. Lions fans might not like this one. Don't blame me. Blame Mel. I know you guys don't want a tight end in round 1, but if you like Brock Wright, you're going to love Michael Mayer. He was better at Notre Dame, so I think he's a very reliable tight end. I think it'd be Michael Mayer strikes me, too, as a Dan Campbell guy. I think those two would get along great. Darnell Wright at number 19 overall. This would be the Tristan Wirfs plays left side. Darnell Wright plays on the right side. Not the most outlandish idea, but top 20 is a little rich for me on Wright. Jackson Smith-Njigba, now a suddenly popular pick. But imagine Smith-Njigba, Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf for the short term. Eventually Lockett moves on there. It's a fun trio at wide receiver. Maybe a bit on the overdrafted expectation of the grouping, but taking Richardson, get him playmakers. See if he's your guy. In this mock draft from Mel, Jackson Smith-Njigba was the first wide receiver drafted at number 20, and that's probably around the right player value, ignoring positional need for other teams out there. So, who will be the first wide receiver drafted this year? Sound off for me in the comments section. Number 21, Dalton Kincaid. Hey, they did not go out and get Dalton Schultz, as some had speculated with Kellen Moore in there. Kincaid is a seam stretcher. Really intriguing for Justin Herbert moving forward. Mel loves Zay Flowers. He's the second wide receiver off the board. He is actually Mel's top-rated wide receiver. You got to get Lamar Jackson. I think it's Lamar, by the way. Some more playmakers. There he is at number 22. Number 23, wide receiver Quentin Johnston. Keep the purple jerseys going. Johnston on the outside along with Justin Jefferson. There are some concerns with Johnston of does he play up to his size? He doesn't always, but that's a pretty good Adam Thielen replacement. Will McDonald, the fourth, the edge rusher, undersized, that kind of an Arden Key-esque replacement, but you also have Trayvon Walker and Josh Allen. I don't really know if edge round 1 is their biggest need, but if you want a DPR, the designated pass rusher, there's a lot of intrigue in a player like McDonald in a not loaded defensive or just class period this year. The Giants get Jordan Addison. So now you've got Addison, Saquon, Slayton, Darren Waller, Wan'Dale Robinson, Paris Campbell. You're giving Daniel Jones the playmakers he needs, and there's no excuses if he can't be a top 10-ish quarterback. Here's a surprise pick. And he told me what? Adebawore, a.k.a. Tommy Adebawore, out of Northwestern. The defensive end, defensive tackle, blew up at the combine. Mostly played defensive end at Northwestern. Some teams view him as a 3 technique. Would be a size departure from the Cowboys' typical M.O. Off the board before a similar undersized, but we know he's a DT in Kalijah Kancey. I could see Adebawore going top in the first round. Mel's mentioned top 15 for him. That would be a pretty decent surprise there. Despite the signing of Damian Harris, Bijan Robinson to the Buffalo Bills. There's the pick. Something tells me Dallas would take him if he's there at number 26 overall. Called it a luxury pick. A running back has never put a team over the top. It's never happened. But it's a top 5 player for you at 27. I do get it. I don't know where Bijan goes. Somewhere between number 8 overall and number 30 overall, I think, is where he goes. Probably in the top half-ish, or at least the middle part of round 1. Take a guess, man. Who will draft Bijan? Sound off in the comment section. Another tight end, one of my guys this year, Darnell Washington, 6'7", almost 270. Some tight ends are referred to as like they're big receivers. Darnell Washington is a skinny offensive lineman. He blocks great and tested incredibly well. Not great production. I think we can blame the presence of also future top 10 pick Brock Bowers at tight end. Washington is one of my guys this year. Brian Brzee, number 29 out of Clemson. The upside is there. Is the consistency there? No. Boom or bust pick, but a pass rushing DT does make sense. It was very weird to see Kiper put Brzee as a combine riser when, like, he needed the athletic testing to live up to the potential round 1 pick. It was not because of how productive he was at Clemson. All right, Eagles, Kalijah Kancey, number 30. I think the size is real. Undersized, height, length, weight, 6'1", 281, like undersized arms too. But alongside Jordan Davis, the strengths and the weaknesses really match up. That makes for a really good pairing in Philadelphia. Number 30, Felix Uzama out of Kansas State. Possible late round 1 pick, probably a top 50 guy. The top 50 guy that can go 30, that's a pretty long list. It's about 20 guys long at that point there. Pass rusher is an area of potential concern for KC. They have Charles Omenihu, but more pass rushers, never a bad thing. So grade Mel Kiper's mock draft for me. A, B, C, D, or F. Sound off in the comment section. Briefly before we go, some top players left out. No Miles Murphy. That, I wonder if was like, he didn't test the combine, even though he's a great athlete, therefore I'm going to forget about him. Interesting. Osiris Torrance, I'm a fan of his game. I'm higher on him than most. Brian Branch, go ahead, NFL teams. Miss on Branch. Miss on him. I dare you. Keon White, Drew Sanders have had some round 1 buzz, but I think fringe round 1 is a better spot for them just overall.